Good morning, everybody. We are getting back to our playthrough of Book of Hours. This is Tuxedo Ian. We have reached video number 57 of our series, and we are going to be diving in and seeing what we can get done today. Yesterday, we managed to craft ourselves an earthquake name, and we're starting to explore down below into the caves beneath the house, where the Abbey of the White Dove and the Sisterhood of the Triple Knot lived during their time on the island back in the early part of the 500s or so. So, with that said, let's dive in and see what we can get done today. Welcome back. Everything is remembered. Hush House endures. So we'll do a little quick thing to see if we had anything. So yes, we are crafting another Torg's cleansing here because of bad timing. We lost our winning move, but we only need 2 points because we have some Cat's Claw. So, speaking of which, we will go ahead and harvest some more Cat's Claw here. Get those started. Okay, so it is summertime. So let's see. Do we have anything else that we need that we can use? Okay, so this area is a red forbidding. Crimson mists beckon and sway. Need 14 nectar or 14 grail. Well, that's definitely Mrs. Kill's territory because we're not in autumn right now. The fluttering crypt. The darkness here beats with wings. Bats. The sound is more like birds, but there is a timpani quality that suggests more bones than feathers. One more step, and I sense the possibility of talons. 15 moon and 15 winters, that's definitely Mr. Kill. And over here we have a gaping darkness. Thunder prowls the entrance to this cave, a dying curse or a capricious storm spirit. It must be dealt with carefully. 12 heart or 12 moth. So that's probably going to be our objective for today, is getting through this one, because we could do Mrs. Kill and get her up to 12 heart. We have that... So let's just see. What would it take to get her to 12? Because she comes with 1. This would get her to 7. A core would get her to 9. So we need 3 more points. So let's see. So we could get 2 points from a memory. So we'll go ahead and start working on that. And we have 1 more point that we can get from the mixing bowls. So yes, that's more than enough to get that done. So we will get a heart memory. Nope, wrong one. Need volume 3. Because Solace gives us 2 heart. So we'll go ahead and get Mrs. Kill and get her started. You always cheer me up, she says morosely. And we could do a barber and give him one of our other bottles of skin shuck mead we have laying around, but this is probably going to be just as fast. So we'll give her a core. And with drums and dances being as high as it is now, it won't take us nearly as much to make another swaddled thunder, so we might as well use the one we have. And our writing case is just floating in the air there. Too many things on the ledge there. Everything goes easier with a song. Actually, it occurs to me to think, so 7, 8, we can actually, I believe, yes, with this, we can do Edict's Martial and a metal. And then we just need 2 more points of edge, which we have on the Cat's Claw. And the Cat's Claw counts as both leaf and flower. So we add that, and we can make the level 10 craft Perunculate. Brew a notoriously deadly ink of power. Edict's Martial with scholar level edge plus leaf creates Perunculate. So we'll go ahead and get that started. And then Perunculate itself has another use, which I will demonstrate if we can get up there enough. Which is what we'll use the the winning move we're about to craft. My assistant and I are both a little merrier. And so now we give her the Swaddled Thunder. The threads converge. The assistant may be able to make use of fabrics and other woven things. Oh, so this actually counts not as a tool, but as a piece of fabric for her. So that works. This will increase their aspects. They'll keep whatever might be left over. Alright, so there's our Torg's Cleansing. And then we'll come in with the Torg's Cleansing. Okay, so that only gets us to 8. But that's all we really need is the extra 2 points there. So let's find a place we can use edge crafting. That takes... We could do edge crafting here, the practice equipment. But we can't, we need memory and a soul fragment, so we could do, so let's see. Scar, metal, Torg's Cleansing. Okay, so that's not enough. So this one needs leaf to make Perunculate. On the other hand, we can do Disciplines of the Hammer to make a winning move. Do we need to do that? Yes, because we'll need the winning move to try and go higher. So we'll start with the winning move. There's our Memory Solace for Mrs. Kill. And yes, we could have read this Newman, but that would have been a little bit overkill. Let it clutter up their shelves. This has improved their aspects appropriately. Okay, so we've given her fabric, and we've given her a soul fragment, so now we'll give her a memory. And while I'm thinking about Newmans, because we're going to need Grail for that next one, so we can do Sun Disfigured, which needs Crack Track, and get that one ready for the next room we're going to open. All right, trumpet in summer, trumpeter's lily flourishes like a shout. So this is just a flower. I forgot it was summertime, and so not springtime anymore. Can't get cat's claw anymore, but we can hold on to those and keep them around for later. We do have some more trumpeter's lily here, so we'll drop this onto the shelf. And we do have the Eva's locks, which also count as leaves, so we can use those to make more Perunculate if we need to. In fact, we'll just go ahead and put this back where we got it for now. Memories don't last as long outside books, but it's made a difference for the day. And then lastly, we can give her the mixing bowls. Cake time! And that gets her nicely to Heart 12. And while I'm thinking about it, so let's see. Drums and dances at 8. Plus core makes a Thunderskin's Pain. So we can go ahead and make another one of those. Our leaf has turned to dust. This was something. With keeper level edge, Perunculate is the precursor to serpent milk. Perunculate, deadly. Use gloves to read text with this produced with this pigment. An ink of power, sometimes called an unsanctioned ink. So now, if we apply Edict's Martial, we cannot use the ink there. We need to find a desk that takes edge. So we can come up to here and use this desk. We add the Perunculate. We add an Arab and Edict's Martial. Still, that gets us to 12. So with our winning move we're going to have, that will get us to 15. And we can see if that will make what we're trying to make here. We need to get Disciplines of the Scar and Disciplines of the Hammer both up one more level to make it more easy to make this stuff. Alright, Mrs. Kill is now Heart 12, so we can use her to open up this room over here. Thunder prowls the entrance to this cave. A dying curse or a capricious storm spirit. It must be dealt with carefully. And then, if we really wanted to, we could go out and hire her again and have her open up this door. Which, you know, I think that's probably what we're going to do. Because we do have another core we can use. And I know it seems strange to have her working and then immediately go out and hire her again, but it is what it is. Alright. So we have Mrs. Kill, and we'll give her an Arab to get her to Grail 4. With Keeper level edge, winning move is the precursor to Invincible Audacity. And we've made an Invincible Audacity once before. But for now, what we're going to do, we're going to come over here. We add the winning move. Oh, we're going to be short because we need something with edge on it. So we will take and rest one of our metal at the Sweet Bones. In summer, I am sitting on the beach outside the Sweet Bones, eating crumbly cheese and nettle wrappings and good black rye bread, soaking up the sun. So this will be enough for us to get that healed up. Alright, so there is our Grail 5 points. This is going to be a busy day for just opening rooms. We have plenty of books we can read, but I don't really see the need. We could start reading The Wonderful Shape. We could start reading 5 Creations. Book of Mia we can't read yet. In Memory of the Gods, we could read that one, or we could read Shion at Abydos. Let's actually start reading In Memory of the Gods, just because we have the ability to, and we might as well. So we'll add Kilisimi, because it is a... Or no, this is one that's written in Fusine. Then we add a Whist. And we need Winter, so we just have to add... We need 12 Winter. So we'll have to add Inks of Containment. Gets us to 11. And we'll add the knife to get us to 12. I can master this mystery. And hopefully we won't need the knife for anything. But if we do, it's not something that's an emergency. Eagerly, we anticipate our work. We'll give her the Newman and exalt her with a memory, which will get her to 9. And then we can use this bottle of Ruby-Wise Ruin to get her another 4 points. We could also use the Sacrament Callicite, but that would be a little bit on the overdose side. Best to use that when we don't have an Arab waiting around so we're not wasting points. And our new room is open. We have the Hermit's Cell. The words Red William are scratched into the wall by the bed nook. This was the name of the cunning man who laid a curse on Hendrik de Wolf, that there would be no 7th of his line. The cunning man that Hendrik de Wolf gelded and imprisoned beneath the house. But this doesn't look like a cell. There could have been no locks. Perhaps that other story is true, that William was an initiate of the Thunderskin, secretly maintained by Hendrik to prophecy for him in the ancient manner. Who were the Dewolfs, really? We have 2 Dawn books and a Baronial book. We also have a bottle of Domaine Raveline, a bottle of Lambig, a bottle of Dandelion Wine, a bottle of Slosh Jennings, and another Domaine Raveline, another January Sanguinary, some Ugall ink, a variant of Iron Gall, most particularly difficult to erase, and minor ink of power, a granite slab, a quire of paper, a tiny potted tree, and some perhibate, which binds to one whose name is there written, a minor ink of power. Plus we have a hermit's workbench, labor in solitude. We can do forge, sky, scale, or moon crafting here, using the same things, although this one looks like all the same things that other workbenches do. And we have opened a new door. Perilous Path. This route was never safe, even before the last round of storms had their way with it. 13 moon or 13 rose. So that one is going to be a bit of a challenge to get into. But for now, let's grab this Baronial book, and we'll come over here, and we start cataloging what we found. So catalog that one with core. That one is from the 1500s to the 1700s, since it is Baronial period. Then we have a Dawn book here, from the Hush House's Dawn period, around the end of the around any time up to the end of the first millennium. And then up here, we'll use our other core to catalog another Dawn period book. And 1 second, somebody's trying to get my attention. All right, and so let's see. Okay, we're waiting for Mrs. Kill to be finished with that Newman memory. And we've made a Thunderskin's Pain, a song of joyous sacrifice. With keeper level heart, the pain is precursor to the swaddled thunder. So we can apply drums and dances, the Thunderskin's Pain. And let's see, a health would get us almost there. We need 3 more points of heart. So health would give us 1, so that gives us 2 more points. We just need a heart memory. Easily enough done, because we have plenty of soul fragments sitting around. So we can do Cheerful Ditty gets us 2 points of heart, and it's music, so thematically that fits. We're combining a Cheerful Ditty and the Thunderskin's Pain together and crafting them into another Swaddled Thunder. Alright, our metal is better now. Mrs. Kill is good. So we'll give her a nice drop to drink. And then we can give her the spice scales, which will get her to 14, and allow her to open up this red forbidding. And let's see. Okay, so there's our 3 cataloged books. So we found the Treatise on Underpalaces. Herein, the 17th century mystic and antiquarian Claude Harsalt describes the bounds or underplaces on the borders of dream. He warns that they shift over time. So this is a Knock mystery, and it has the Sthenic Taint. A poison? A curse? Probably both. But be careful handling this book. This contamination can affect Shapt and health. You can remove it with a skill that's effective against curses and at least 7 knock. Not something we really need to be concerned about, because Sthenic Taint really only affects the soul card you use it with, it does not spread to other books. Curses cannot spread. Other maladies can, but that's actually only the second malady we found, or third really, but there were two fifth eye maladies I believe we found. And this will teach us more about horns and ivories. So, not a bad one to find, because horns and ivories could use a few more levels. It is only level 3. The next book we have found from the Dawn period is the Inchiridon Tragularis, the poison manual of the Order of Assassins called the Tragulari, 14 moon, and it teaches about serpents and venoms. Well, that makes sense. And finally, we have also found the Book of Masks, Athena Vanna's work on the rogue hour called the Vagabond, who is also known as the Laughing Thrush, the Centipede, the Pilgrim, and by many other names, or as Vanna has it, masks. 14 moth, and it gives us information on weaving and knot working. He. So definitely something we can work on. So we'll throw this onto our to-read shelf here. And it's written in Phrygian, which we already know, so we don't have anything to worry about there. Alright, so now we have our winning move, we have our Perunculate, we have our metal. So we need to have an edge desk, which is over here. So add the ink, the winning move, the metal, and let's see, if we use Auroral Contemplation, that makes an invincible audacity. If we use Edict's Martial, that also crafts an invincible audacity. Disciplines of the Scar, Disciplines of the Hammer can't quite get there. We need one more level to make another, to do that, and we need one more point of Disciplines of the Scar. So for right now, we will go ahead and use Edict's Martial to create another invincible audacity. That way we have a high power edge memory sitting around. I told you Perunculate was going to be useful, and now we can crank it out as long as we have things with leaf to do. So we will go down to the beach and see if we can find another Eva's Lock down here. Let's see, we need something with heart, moon. We can use wolf stories for that. What has the sea seeded today? And we will also send one of our pieces of soul out to walk on the moor. Clamber up into the long reaches of the moors behind the village. Lean into the wind's fluttering fist. If I know what to look for, I might find something among the rocks. We can use sand stories. The wind is almost warm. And then finally the spice scales. Gets her to Grail 14, which will be enough to open the red forbidding. Crimson mists beckon and sway. Yeah, so there's our cheerful ditty. So we come over to the drum. Drums and dances, the cheerful ditty, the Thunderskins Pain, and a core gets us to 15, and we can make another Swaddled Thunder. Drum storm potential into the weft to capture more heart aspect. And there's Mrs. Kill at Grail 14. So we can have her come over here and open this forbidding for us. Crimson mists beckon and sway. We'll get her started on that just in time before night falls. And tomorrow we'll get Mr. Kill and work him on this Fluttering Crypt. We need a Solomon's Preparation for that, so let's get started on making one of those. Let's see, we need Magathene Mysteries. We need Moon for that. So we can do... Where can we craft with moon? We can take a flower. Can we use flower over here? Yes, we could. So we could do Magaphine Mysteries. But we need to get 5 more points of moon from somewhere. Oh, we could use that. If we add a flower in, which we have plenty of flowers, so we'll use one of those trumpeter's lilies that we harvested. And make a Solomon's preparation. Mix and muddle a wintry preparation. So instead of making it with winter, we're making it with moon. Alright, and we finished reading our book over here. The Barrow Child, a nameless Gaulish adept who joined an organization identified as the Ordo Limae, writes regretfully of the destruction of the gods who were stone, the hours who preceded humanity. The Barrow Child singles out the Scarred Tribune, the Red Grail, the Forge, and the Moth for a special condemnation as murderers of the first gods. We live in the shadow of their crimes, she writes, and we must evade it or repeat it. The Barrow Child describes how the Grail drained the hour called Tide, how the Moth usurped the wheel from within, stealing its skin, and how the Forge first eclipsed, then shattered flint. Perhaps these are glories, she observes, but then it cannot be that glory is merciful. So 2 lessons on Ragged Crossroads, which has edge and winter. So that is exactly what we needed to level up Disciplines of the Scar and or Disciplines of the Hammer, and Memory Hindsight. So, that said, so let us apply those lessons. We could apply them to Ragged Crossroads, but I think we've already assigned that to Shapt. So let's use that for Disciplines of the Scar and get that up to level 7. So we'll need... we'll wait a few seconds for it so we don't lose the memories in the night over. So we need Edge and Lantern. So we can do... Edge 1. Lantern 2. Lantern 3. Edge 4. Okay, so we need Date Mandaic for this one, which is fine. And one more. We need Edge or Lantern. Ah, well, there we go. Musgrave Sketches. We can do a Bittersweet Certainty, which gets us 5 Lantern. So that's 5, so we can upgrade Disciplines of the Scar. So we're going to need 2 pieces of metal, so we'll need to craft some Gervanite. But we can work on that in a bit tomorrow. We found a basket of apples, notoriously hard to take just 1 bite. And on the sea, we found a curious seashell. Brankrug is said to lie in the bounds where the world ends. Odd creatures have made their dying way to the beach. So Brandkrug being in the bounds means that it's somewhere between the Wake, which is the mortal world, and the Wood, which is the border of the Mansus. So it's that kind of explains why things are a little strange here and time flows differently. Why eggs that have been abandoned for decades, at least 7 years, are still viable. Alright, so Miss Kill finishes her work, and we have unearthed the Chapel Callicite. The Red Grail says, "Never speak of this mystery. I was always the first, and I must always be greatest. When we spilt the blood of the Thunderskin, I feasted and I grew strong, stronger again than the twins. There is always a feast, and nothing is truly wasted." We found a statue of Goddess Who Changes Skin. To every god her skin. Simple moth item. An ambergris chunk. Never, never, never call it whale vomit. A sacrament callicite, so we have another 6 points of grail we can use if we need them. Some widow's candles. 4 more dawn books. Some lambig brocleand. A bobo of spring, a votive vessel for harvest offerings. Another widow's candle, and a callicite altar. The Red Grail, birth and appetite, denied and condemned by the clergy of the sun for her temptress role in the sun's division. Those of us who oppose eternity might instead give her thanks and praise, but cautiously. So in case you might have not picked up on exactly what's going on, so eternity and history are 2 of the opposing forces in this universe. And eternity is basically what the Sun in Splendor was trying to create, where everything has its place, no one is ever wandering, no one is ever lost, everyone is exactly happy, exactly where they are. But you have no freedom to do anything. You are basically a cog in the universal machine doing what you are supposed to be doing. On the other hand, history, with a capital H, is the alternative to that, where people are allowed to have free will and make of their lives what they will, even if it is good or bad. Whether it is good or bad, it's up to the individual to decide what they're going to do. So that's one of the reasons that it's speculated the sun might have been splintered into intercalate, was to figure out a way to stop eternity from coming to pass, because freedom is a desire of all living things. So we'll put these books up here for now, because we will need to catalog them. But all of our desks are busy right now. I'm sorry, all your desks are busy right now. Please try again when you have finished reading. And next we have a wintry forbidding. Icy mists coil and drift. 14 knock or 14 edge. So that's going to be fairly easy. We have that invincible audacity that will give us 6 edge if we need it. So we just need to make some serpent milk, and we should be good to open that, which is what Perunculate is used for. And so we'll need to make some more Perunculate as well. But for now, we'll go ahead and let the day tick over as soon as we get our memories here that we can use to upgrade Disciplines of the Scar. Okay, so that has given us the Colonel's lessons and the Lionsmith's lessons have been unkindly and reductively rendered as stab versus thump. Invincible audacity. A general says, when I make the right choice, I win. And Illuminant says, when I win, I determine which choice was the right one. Natalia Brulot. Okay, so we're about to get all our soul fragments back. There we go. We lost the sun and the other memory, but those were minor. Our weather for today is another sun. Sun is not what he was, but today he is smiling. So let's collect our memories. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll grab Disciplines of the Scar. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we could use the sun for our next one, so we just have to make 5 more. And we'll apply a lesson. And then Faust. At last, I'm something of an authority in this. Improve this skill to level 6. So let's reread those books again. So we have core there. We have our shaft here. We use a fet here. That's 3. And that one gave us hindsight, so that one would not be of help. Yes, this one makes lantern, so we can use fet up here. So that's 4, and then one more. So we'll do stolen histories to make fear. And then we'll be able to use the sun as our 6th one. So an offer from Oriflammes. Oriflammes established 1776, Sense, Signs, and Sciences. Dear Librarian, we'd like to offer you the opportunity to purchase the Codex Acephali, sometimes called the Book of the Clean Skull. The book contains accounts of enlightenments available through the gradual surgical removal of the lobes of the brain. 10 moon, and gives us snow stories. What the heck, we might as well. We have enough. We have a Spintria. Oriflammes thanks you for your custom. Okay, so today our task is... So we have Wormwood Dream. We are making a Solomon's Preparation. So we need to get Mr. Kill. Mr. Kill always enjoys a chance to catch up with me. Can always spare, and he can always spare a few hours to help a friend. So we'll give him this Wormwood Dream to think about, which will get him to 8 Winter. With Keeper level Winter, not Moon, Solomon's preparations are precursor to the Great Ink Nillikit, but we already knew that. So that's good. And we have some apples, which we can put down here in the pantry yes, we do have, we have room for them there. We can use those to make something scrumptious later. In fact, we're going to need to use... We'll make some dough. And then we can make apple pie with those apples. We have one thing of dough here already, so we can make another. So let's see. Alright, so there's our Swaddled Thunder. Sleep, O thou tempest, for now bow thy head. So we can set this back on our table over here. Actually, we'll set it... Yeah. Let's set it on the table here. And Disciplines of the Scar is now level 6. And we'll give it one more level here in just a minute. While I'm thinking about it, we'll go on another walk on the moor. And another walk on the beach and another walk on the moor. Alright, so there's 6. So that get him to 12. Let's see, our final goal here is 13, or 15 there, or 13. So we do 13 here. Yeah, we just need one more point to get into the 13 here, so we'll open up this crystallized chamber. My path is blocked by shining surfaces like curdled light. Dark shapes shift beneath. We can tap away the crystal if we're careful, but we must be careful. These rooms over here are going to be for later. That's for Denzel up there. All right, there's our memories. 2, 3, 4, 5 memories, which we then take. So fear, the sun, revelation, bittersweet certainty, contradiction, and foresight. We apply a lesson, and we apply Faust. And when I thought I'd understood, I'd only begun. Improve this skill to level 7. So let's see then. Now when that is done cooking, we will have... Right, so there's some dough for us. So then we can come back and we can add the dough. We can add... Let's see, can we make pumpkin pie? Maybe we had to have the spice scales? Yes, so we could bake a pumpkin pie. A dish with forge, heart, and nectar. Or we could try adding the apples. We can make an apple pie with forge, grail, heart, and nectar. Or even maybe make a sea pie, a dish with forge, if we use beef. We can make... that doesn't make anything. I guess almonds don't go in that. We have this little soft amber pumpkin. We can make a honey-haunted pumpkin pie. A dish with edge, forge, heart, knock, moth, nectar, and scale. So, wow, that one would make quite the pie. Can we do anything with the cuckoo honey? Nope, that one would not do anything. Can we use a regular honey for that with the dough? Nope. I'm sure there's something we can do with the honey, or we could make bread. Or, let's see here. What else do we have? Yep, adding jam. We'd need the bread first before we could do anything with the jams. If we add sugar? Nope. Would that do anything? Nope. And I know if we add an egg to this, we'd make meringue. Or we'd add an egg to make cake batter. So let's go ahead. Let's actually go ahead. Or if we add pheasant, would make that. That would make game pie, a dish with all of that stuff. Do we have? I think we already have a game pie up here already. So let's not. Yeah, we have a game pie. So let's not duplicate our effort, and let's make a honey-haunted pumpkin pie. That will cover a lot of different bases. Alright, so he is now at Winter 12, so we just give him the knife, which gets him to Winter 13. And that will allow him to open up the Crystarium. And I could give him a whist to get him to 15, so he could open up this area here, the Fluttering Crypt, but let's start with the 13. The skill is now level 7. Okay, so now we can make some... We can have some fun here, because we have a bottle of Perunculate lying around still. Yes, so there's some Perunculate. Can't do anything with it. So let's go over to our desk over here. So we'll add the ink. We'll add the Invincible Audacity, and then we'll add this, and a metal, and that gets us 19 edge. So even without the Invincible Audacity, we would only need 2 more points. So the Invincible Audacity is overkill. So that makes Serpent Milk. Enrich the ink to a fluid vibrant with edge power. Whereas if we used Disciplines of the Hammer, we would need a winning move. I think that probably resolves to another Invincible Audacity. So We do Auroral Contemplations. That makes a winning move. And okay. Let's see. What else do we have that has edge power on it? All the way down at Sickle and Eclipse. We'll still get to 15. Still make Serpent Milk. Yeah, so we will go ahead and turn these two crafted items into a Serpent Milk. Enrich the ink to a fluid vibrant with edge power. Because that will help us get... Serpent Milk here, as you see, has 2 knock, 3 scale, and 6 edge, which we can use to power up Denzel so he can open up one of those edge rooms. Because he would have 2, so that would be 6, 7, 8... We need to find 6 more points, so we can make another Invincible Audacity. So we can actually start with that, make a towards cleansing. And we'll start making another Invincible Audacity. Alright, so we'll have Mr. Kill open this crystallized chamber. Tap away the crystal carefully. And while I'm thinking about it, I should probably show off, we have the ability to make another high-level scale skill, or scale craft. So we know Hill and Hollow with 15 scale makes the Earthquake name. We don't know with 10 scale it makes... we need an egg to hatch something that recalls an earlier era. So we have this Viper egg down here. So let's at least unlock this to see what it is asking of us. So we just need... We can use the Earthquake name just to have... So that would make another living relic. When an egg is not dead, something may emerge. When an egg is dead, something may be placed within. There's a Blake, 7th Librarian of Hush House. So that makes a living relic. Hatch a scale relic from the egg. So that's not something we need to do. We do have a living relic already. So with moon, 10 moon would get us an egg. So let's see, do we have something with moon on it already that we could use to get there? No, we need to make a two moon memory. So actually we'll go ahead and do that just so we can unlock and see whatever the other memory it would, or the other creature it would make would be. Although I have a suspicion what it would be. So we'll come over here, use our shaft. And we need 2 moons, so we can do Book of the Centipede. And this year we have black flowers on the U. So last year was white flowers, this year is black flowers. Unexpected finds in the folds of earth and sky. A hawthorn blank, a wood favored by the horned axe. And on the beach we found... Oh, they're good. Some Eva's locks. Handy. That will help us make some more Perinculate. So, yes. So actually we can come down here and we can start another bottle of Perinculate brewing. Add that. The Eva's locks. We add our knife. We add the Disciplines of the Scar. And metal makes Perinculate. Brew a notoriously deadly ink of power. There we have a honey-haunted pumpkin pie. Harvey Haddington, perennially suspicious of the Blumberend kind and their cuckoo honey, nevertheless championed pumpkin pie made with cuckoo honey as the herald of savor. And if you remember, the Carapace Cross had their savor secrets that would teach them how to make food out of pretty much anything, and are now sadly lost to history. Okay, so let's see. We could also make a pumpkin pie if we wanted to, but for now we'll hold off on that. We have some wood here, which, once we get that knife back, we'll be able to use to make some more pears. Because we can use the Hive's Lament to make pears. Actually, we don't need the knife. So we do Rites of the Roots, Hive's Lament, wood, and that, and that makes Tanglebrag. So this makes Rites of the Roots makes Lethe. So let's see, what else do we have as far as nectar goes? If we use spices and savors, that makes our Pyrus Alcanus. Leaves and thorns would also make, if we had the knife for 2 more points of nectar. These other ones I think would also do the same thing, so we'll just use spices and savors and make ourselves some more fancy pears. Because 4 forge and 4 nectar is a potent combination that we'll probably need the help with. Alright, so there's our Torg's Cleansing. So then we add the cleansing and a metal, and we can make winning move. And then we have the Arab and other things, and we can make that winning move into an invincible audacity. Mr. Kill has finished his work here in the Crystal Chamber. The Rowanarium. Once there was a brother and sister who loved each other greatly. They resolved that they were one soul split into 2 bodies, and their greatest wish was to become one. They found the hidden isle where the twins, the sister and witch, had arrived when they crossed the great ocean, and a sacred pool on which the moon shone only once a year. They spoke with the twins in dreams, and they learned how they might become conjoined as one flesh and immortal. Now the brother's resolution failed him, and though he loved his sister, he could not choose to spend eternity joined in one flesh. The sister could not persuade him, and she would not abandon him or force him. So they used their arts to live long lives, close but separate, and they made a double foundation of monks and nuns, as chaste as they had always been, but each nun had her brother twin, and none could enter alone. In time, the sister found her own immortality, and to this day she walks the world by moonlight. The brother died, and his bones are buried in the room beneath the well, but his children live on. So we have a new crafting area, the Rowanarium. Rowena the Legian, protectress of the house, holds the mayor's key of worm stone, which opens the door to nowhere. Now and then she has lent it unwisely, but only once has she lent it to Ys. So we could evolve with Skolakoscopy here. We can use a soul fragment with Rose, Winter, Grail, or Moth here. And we can use an element of the soul, a cooperative animal, some remains, or an omen. And then over here we can use a memory, a key, a remains, or a pigment. As far as we know, there's only one object in the game that also has a key. The part of the soul called Shapt is left outside the white door of the Mansus as a key in the door, or as a sword outside a king's hall if you listen to the Noble Endeavor. So where have we seen a key before? Yes, way back at the very beginning of the game, the Hush House key. The only item in the game that has the aspect of key. So what happens if we put that in here at the Rowanarium? Reveal a treasure of the house. If I insert a sufficient key. Well, I should certainly hope that key is sufficient. And so we'll let that work. So there is our moon memory. And I have quite entirely forgotten what I was doing with that. We were going to check and see what Hill and Hollow makes with the moon. So let's go up here to the cage. Hill and Hollow, add the memory. Health, and we add an egg. So we can add that viper egg. Makes a chimeric larva. Hatch an eyeless larva, pulsing with moth potential. So that would just make another source to make the curious imago that we did before. So let's see what insects and nectars can do with. Also makes a chimeric larva. Let's see, what else do we have that has that high level moon on it? We have oronoscopy. Bittersweet certainty. If we add a lens and focus that moonlight into a silvery ink of revelation. So we need 10 moon and a lens to make some Asimel. Pearl and Tide makes Asimel as well. Sacralime is not moon. Magaphine Mysteries is. With 10 moon makes Solomon's preparation. With 10 heart adds something more potent. A liquid that's more potent. So that's probably makes Gideon soaks. But we know what that is now, so we don't have to worry about that for the moment. Let's see now. I'm curious here. Let's see what Anbarian Lapidary can make with sufficient sky. So we add Anbarian Lapidary and a Fost. So that gets us to 9 sky. 10 sky with a liquid makes Xanthotic Essence. And if we can get it to 15, so let's add this Didymos. And maybe that. Now that gets us to 18 sky, but that's not enough. Well, we don't have the right ingredient. So maybe... Do we have a Xanthotic Essence lying around somewhere, or did we use them all up? Let's see, maybe that one makes... Let's try over here. We can make lantern stuff here. I'll have to look and check my notes to see what Anbarian Lapidary makes with sufficient sky. Let me check that real quick. Anbarian Lapidary creates with Sky and Keeper with Ichor Vitreous. So it's kind of a side grade, so we need somewhere that takes liquid and does sky crafting. Here. Yes, we can add the Ichor Vitreous there. We add Fost. We add Anbarian Lapidary and the Didymos. And that makes Ashertine. Brew the bright ink Ashertine from the Ichor. So that's one way to make Ashertine. The other one would be with something else with plenty of lantern influence. But we also have a undiscovered 15. Ah, okay, so that one is how we can make some, that's another way to make Uzult, is if we had some Xanthotic Essence. So we can actually take the Ashertine out, take out the Didymos, and we just need something with Sky aspect. We can use actually a tool here, I believe, or pigment. A lens. That's what we can use. We can use that Deer Day lens we crafted. And then add some water and make Xanthotic Essence. But that's for another day. At least we know what that is now. And we know how to make Ashertine if we ever need to make some. So our day is coming to a close here fairly soon. We have our new book, Oriflamme's Thanks You for Your Custom, Codex Asphali. So we'll put this up on our shelves with Shioned Abydos. And we can go ahead and start checking these new books that we found and see what's in them. So, Dawn Period book. Dawn Period book. Dawn Period book. And we can use health here. Yep. Get plenty of health, so we'll do another Dawn Period book here. Let's see, in the summer we can get Fragrant Chalice. So we'll pass on that for now. We do have another Iotic Essence here we could use to make some OE. We have Amber here, which we can use to make some Xanthotic Essence. But for now, I think we'll just finish up with the craftings that we do have. So tomorrow we can work on getting... Actually, what we need is... We can read this book again here and get another knock memory. No librarian of Hush House has ever died during the preparation of serpent milk. Thankfully, this was true yesterday, and it is still true today. It does look like milk, and it is drinkable, but don't give it to cats or babies. The messenger awaiting her destination. The Limian Burzgash records his prophecies of a city unbuilt and entreaties to its herald. Gives us Doran Wall, and it's in Forge 16, and written in Vak. Well, we can definitely get there. It'll be a challenge, but we can get there. The Voyages of Fernenshun of Oriol. The impossible travels of a sea captain in the late Phoenician era. Suppressed throughout recorded history. Those who read it were said to disappear. 18 Moon. Well, that's easily enough done. We've done that before. We can do it again. And it is written in Fusine. And it will give us lessons on sea stories. The sea has always been the widest road. Next. The Silver Book. A manual of the Ordo Limei, an order of quasi-immortals who maintained a secret enclave at the source of the river Limia in the Roman province of Hispania Galicia. This manual was compiled by one Burgash, who explains that he came to join the Ordo from the city of Messenger Eagles after he abandoned the service of the Ivory Dove. Edicts Liminal, and its 8 Moth, written in Fusine, easily enough read. And that completes our trio of books from the Ordo Limei. And we found the Green Jasper Tablet, supposedly copied from a tablet of green jasper, which serves as covenant stone of the Monastery of the Fifth Cup, the token which gives that library shelter beneath the Watchman's Tree. Well, we've seen something similar to that before. We have the White Jade Tablet, which is around here somewhere. I think we have put it away up here. Yeah, white jade tablet there. So what we'll do, so that one is from the Grove of Green Immortals. This is for the Monastery of the Fifth Cup. So we can put these together on a shelf up here. And they should fit together. Well, we'll have to make some room. But we can put those together for now. And we'll move, actually, these books up and out of the way to make room. Because we'll have the iron book, the ivory book, and the silver book go right next to each other there. So we can put the green jade tablet and the white jade tablet here. And put our other books up here out of the way where we don't need them. Because Unhatched Hymns, we've read that, but it was in Sabazine. It gives us another song, but since we already have things that make songs, we can finish up with that. So the green jade tablet is 10 nectar in Crack Track and gives us more of Rites of the Roots. But we could actually, as soon as we get our knife back, we'll be able to read that. After we get our knife and spices and savors ready, so we can read that. And Crack Track itself has two nectar on it, so that makes it even easier. So there's our next batch of Perunculate. And our knife back. So now we can come over here to Nana's desk. We can add, we need the book first. We can add Crack Track. And then we can add we just need 10 nectar, so this gives us, we only need 6 nectar now. So let's see, nectar skills. 4, 2, 6. There we go. So Rites of the Roots gives us enough to read it. And our Arab gives us 1, so that gives us 11. I can master this mystery and will read the green jade tablet. It is very hard among the reflections of the Rowanarium to understand what exactly, or who, has just opened. But I can see very clearly what has just been revealed. Towards a fundamental aesthetic 2nd edition, or the refinements of light, Julian Costley had never wanted or expected to write a 2nd edition of his masterwork. This book houses a Numen, a truth so powerful it can believe itself. And it's written in Ericapean, and it's 10 Winter, and it will give us information on sights and sensations, plus a new Numen. So, let's head up to to good old Samuel Husher's desk. So add Whist. And then we need 7 points of Winter, which we can easily get with Inks of Containment, and we can master this mystery and uncover a new Numen. So, our first book we read from Costley, the 1st edition, The House of Glass. Julian Costley considers this his masterwork. Taught us about inescapable confinement, where he came up with a way that could restrict even an hour from breaking out. What's his 2nd edition going to tell us? And then we have the silver book here, which is 8 Moth. Unfortunately, all of our Moth stuff looks like it is busy at the moment, although we do have Edict's Liminal. Actually, we could read that with the occult scrap. So we're going to grab this, and we'll come up to our Moth desk up here. And we can add the occult scrap. We add Edict's Liminal. And we have reached, and it is written in Fusine. I can master this mystery. So that gives us 2 more books that will give us some more lessons. All right. Then we have our Knock book over here that we're reading to make some Gervanite. Okay, so there's Pyrus Arcanus, a peculiar pear with coppery skin that barely dents under the pressure of fingers. With Keeper-level nectar, it is a precursor to Sacrament Malachite. Alright, so that is a pretty good journey for today. All we have left at this point is just waiting for timers to run out, so I think at this point we're going to go ahead and call it a day. And we've made some pretty good progress here. We've uncovered a new Newman book. We've uncovered several other Dawn books. So we'll work on reading those over the next day or two and applying the lessons they give us and seeing what else we can find. So, thank you for joining me. If you've been enjoying what you've been watching, please leave a like or a comment down below. If you'd like to see where this journey is going to end up, please subscribe, and I will see everyone tomorrow.